Sometimes we use small sentences. Sometimes we use only a phrase if it is spoken English. Like that, we vary our language. The language becomes interesting. If you write the same grammatical pattern of sentence for 10 sentences, your supervisors, your bosses, your people who are superior to you will not like your writing, your speaking. They will say it is so monotonous. So we learn all these types of sentences because we feel that by using this kind of grammar, by using this kind of variety, our communication improves. Once more, if you learn this chapter of communication, if you learn all the rules, and if you practice all the exercises, it is absolutely of no use to say that your communication is becoming excellent. It will never become excellent unless you first learn the rules, absorb the rules, do the exercises 10 times correctly, 10 or 20 or 30 times, same sentences. Then you try to spot conjunctions when you read and listen. When you listen, you are listening to me for 3 hours. How many conjunctions I might be using, you are not aware of it because you're listening only once. The meaning is important for you now. You're all listening to the ideas which I'm giving you. Nobody concentrates on the language which I'm using. Suppose you listen to it only trying to spot conjunctions. You listen again and again and again, finding each conjunction which I have used. Then, because your interest is communication, then you will find that you are able to improve your own conjunction usage by the conjunctions people are using. Again, reading the newspaper, reading a book. Notice the conjunctions only. First read the story. Get the story out of the way. The story is not important for us. The content is not important for us because our aim here is language. Get the content out, because till you get the content out, you've understood fully, you cannot go to language. Language is only second step. Then concentrate on the language by looking at each item, preposition separately, conjunction separately. Take one sentence and try to analyze every word. Once you can do it perfectly, you know that your study of grammar is complete. After that, no need to do any more grammar. Then you concentrate on applying that grammar. We have so many scientists doing experiments. We have so many engineers in our country. In our city itself, we have hundreds of engineering colleges. It seems they learn the subject very well. Theory is excellent. When they go, engineer has to build something, has to create something. That is, the word engineering means that. The scientist who does a lot of experiments, PhD in pure sciences, etc., they have to discover various things. Newton was sitting under a tree. You remember, apple keeps falling on everybody's head. How did Newton discover all these things? Many people have a bath in the bathtub. All do not become Archimedes. These are things. So, our application is what is required in grammar. Not theory. Theory is good. Theory is first step. But we are stopping at that first step. I am repeating myself again and again because after doing this course also, all of you will think, I want to learn some more grammar. I want to learn some more grammar. Madam, give me a good grammar book. I will read grammar. I will read grammar. Our whole life will finish reading that grammar. We will never put it into practice, which means our communication will not improve. Grammar is only one of the methods for improving communication. Our final goal in life is communication. If you're standing in the bus stop, will anybody ask you what is a preposition or what is a conjunction? They might ask you, do you know when the next bus will come? They are using a conjunction. When? Do you know? One clause. Next bus will come? One clause. Joining them? Subordinating conjunction. When? So, unless your conjunctions are known by you, you won't know all this. Now, when that person is asking, do you know when the next bus will come? Will you stop that person and say, let me see, do verb, you pronoun. That person will run away and ask the next passenger, do you know when the next bus will come? So we have to communicate. Our aim is not grammar, our aim is communication. Grammar is a process of better communication. Because English is not our language, we are learning grammar. But our students, I meet thousands of students who want to learn English in real life. Apart from lakhs which they told me, I haven't met any of them. They are only online students. They all are very enamored of grammar. They think that if their grammar is good, they get 100 marks in the grammar exam. If I give 100 sentences, they get full 100 marks. Oh, madam, I know English. Okay, give one speech. Same sentences which they wrote correctly in those 100 sentences, they are making mistakes when they are talking. Which means they have in their brain two parts. One part grammar, which did not go into the other part spoken English. Spoken English is still faulty. Grammar is fully correct. Now we have to merge the skills. Yesterday they were telling you, our two organizers, see how good their English is. They were also saying with what difficulty they learnt English. It's not easy, but it is possible. Therefore, when they are telling you, that we require skills in English, impact is impacting thousands of people, but they are not getting jobs in so many thousands. If you attend one course, all should get 100% placement. Why it's not happening? Many of them, they analyzed and they said, it's because of the skills. Now this is a skill. What you are gaining in 4 days is knowledge. What you are going to gain when you practice on your own is skill. The skill is your goal, not the knowledge. Knowledge is a starting point. I hope that becomes clear. So we have, many exercises on the introduction of the phrases and clauses. I have given you a lot of, exercises in this, identifying phrases, clauses, and then putting them together. Now we have some other, I don't know whether you really require so much in detail, because these handouts were not exactly for your course. Because I had it, I gave it. The noun phrase, the verb phrase, these are important. So only noun phrase I have given here. You can read an explanation. See, despite all precautions, you can see the example. The animals escaped from the cage. Then the team promised to complete the project by the end of this month. Where the phrase comes in the place of subject or object, a phrase is a group of words which has some meaning, no verb, there you find that it is a noun phrase. Only for you to underline which of the phrases is subject and which of the phrases is object. 5 sentences are given. The group of islands to the east of Africa forms the archipelago called Zanzibar. This 5 sentences are there. Only you have to identify whether it is subject, object. You have to also underline the entire phrase. I think that should not be difficult. Now I was telling you about relative clauses. When we studied relative pronoun, I told you that I will speak about it when I am doing clauses. Today we are doing clauses also. Morning I spoke to you about relative pronoun. Now let me tell you about the relative clause. The relative clause is a very significant form of usage which has the use of the relative pronoun. I already told you who, whom, whose, which and that. These are the relative pronouns in English. When they join 2 sentences, the condition is that in the 2 sentences, one of the nouns should be the same. Noun or pronoun. Either subject noun should be same in both sentences. It can be object in one, subject in both. or subject in one, object in the other. It doesn't matter. In two sentences, some noun or pronoun is common. So when you want to join such two sentences to form a single sentence, what you use is a relative pronoun. And what you get is a relative clause. Suppose I say, a student who learns grammar improves English. I'm using a student improves English, a student learns grammar. So student is repeated 2 times in 2 sentences. A student learns English, learns grammar, the student improves English. 2 sentences. Now because student is common, why are we saying student again? Or we can say he also. The student learns grammar, he improves English, she improves English. Or students learn grammar, they improve English. But something is common. So this common element, if we remove, 2 sentences can be made into 1. You know, that is a much better way of expressing. It is a more compact way of expressing, where we want to express both sentences as a single sentence. Therefore, we use the relative pronoun. I have already given you the rule of relative pronoun. That is, when you are using the relative pronoun, use it immediately next to the noun. If you separate the relative pronoun from the noun, even by a single word, the meaning is broken.